Hello and welcome back to Car Chantel. This is Tim the Tool Man, and I'm here with a little update on our free Kia project for you. I had to say it. I haven't shot a video in a while. I have been busy doing some body work. I am probably the last person that should be giving anybody advice about body work. But you know what? I think here in the future we are going to do a video about that when we go about fixing some of the Pennsylvania ventilation here on this car. There's a little bit of prior accident damage on the back side that I disassembled and repaired, and yeah, I didn't really think that I was in any position to provide anybody any advice on body work, but you know what? It's not half bad. I'm still working on it. You guys can have a look if you want to. There was a little bit of mash up underneath this back bumper. So I had to peel this panel off and straighten it out, fix a little damage underneath, and then get it all welded back together. And look, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with everybody. I'm not the greatest welder in the world, but I can get the job done. So, hey, maybe you're a better welder than I am. Who knows? And you can gloss over that or ignore the fact that I might not have the greatest welding skills, but at least I have a solid skill set or a solid knowledge of body work to get the job done. Anywho, today I wanted to actually talk to you guys about tires. So we did get a little bit of forward progress made on this project. Did have the windshield replaced. I was looking for one in a junkyard, but these things are getting kind of hard to find in the junkyards. And the ones that are in the junkyards aren't in the greatest of shape anymore. So I wasn't actually able to find one in the junkyard that had a decent windshield in it. So I made a phone call, had a local shop come out and put a brand new one in. Why not? It cost me $250, and they were in and out of here in half an hour, and that had a new windshield. They did a good job. You know, keeps the water out, and you can see through it. So, I mean, that's really about all you need out of a windshield. Let me turn you around here. There it is. You can see all the pollen on it already. It's only been in for a few days. But yeah, looks nice, and it's not cracked. So that's a bonus. Some new windshield wipers on it. It's easy to do. Yeah, other object we got taken care of was tires. The tires that were on this thing were like 15 years old. They were no good. And you guys saw how I redid the wheels. So why do wheels and then put unsafe tires on here? You're really not supposed to drive on tires that are over 5 years old, if you didn't know that. It's recommended that they be replaced, whether or not the tread's worn or not, after a 5-year period. The rubber compound breaks down, especially in UV light, so it's a good idea. It's a safe thing to do. You don't want to be out on the highway somewhere buzzing along at 80 miles an hour and have a blowout. It can be kind of catastrophic. So, pardon me. This is what we went with. Well, what I went with. Goodyear Wrangler radial tires. And I'll tell you why I chose these in a few moments. Let me gather my thoughts. I did upsize the tires a little bit. The original equipment tires were 215 75 15s. These are 235 75 15s. And the only reason I went with this size is A, they fit. B, they make it look a little bit sportier, I think, with a slightly larger tire. They look good on here. And I had an old spare laying around. It was the same thing. It was a Goodyear Wrangler radial from one of my old trucks. Spare was in good shape, and it was a 235/75/15. So why not get 4 of these that I could put on here and have all 5 tires be the same size? Makes perfect sense. I want to talk about the tires for a moment. So, Goodyear brand name. It's a well-respected brand name. Been around in the tire business for ages. They stand behind their product. And they offer a decent warranty on most of their tires. I think the ones that, these tires that I picked here are rated for 50,000 miles. This is not the first time I've used a set of these tires. I've used countless sets of these tires, Goodyear Wrangler radials. These tires have been around for at least 2 decades. This very same tire. And I think they used to come on like every Jeep from like 1986 to 2000 or something like that. If you bought a Jeep from the factory or off the dealership lot, whoop, that's what it came with. Goodyear Wranglers. Makes sense, right? Jeep Wrangler, Goodyear Wranglers. Anywho, these things have been around, like I said, for a long time. It's a well-established tire with a great reputation. In the past, when I've used these tires, I've gotten in the low 40,000 miles to a set before they were down to the point that they needed to be replaced. You know, you can get 42, 45,000 miles out of a set of tires, you got your money's worth. I think that the ratings that they give tires are always slightly exaggerated from the manufacturer. I don't think I've ever had a set of tires that lasted, you know, as long as they said that they were supposed to before they needed replaced. So there's that. These things have a great tread pattern. Let's take a look at it. Here's the tread pattern in these tires. You know what? Let me turn you around. Get you out of the light. Let me get a better shot of it here. Alright. These have a nice, rugged tread pattern. It's not what I would call a street pattern or a off-road pattern, but it's a good compromise. You know, it's equally capable on-road or off-road. We've got these it's got great cavities, great voids in between these tread blocks. And this is great for moving a lot of water out of the tread. And it's also good for, in mud or snow, for evacuating that snow or mud or whatever would get packed in here as the tire travels. Centrifugal force is going to help clear that tread pattern. Let me get down here again. Oh. So, they're rated for 112 miles an hour. But if you're in a truck or a small SUV like this, if you're doing 112 miles an hour, the issues probably hit the fan and you're bugging out. So, it's not likely you're ever going to see 112 miles an hour. I'm certainly never going to see 112 miles an hour in this car on these tires. Not going to happen. So I don't have to worry about that. You can get these at Walmart. I think they're the only, I don't know if they're the only retailer. I can't say they're the only retailer. Where I'm at, that was certainly the easiest retailer to find them at. I imagine if you look hard enough, you'll find them somewhere. But it's a $98 tire. These were $98 a pop. They used to be like $78, but you know, COVID tax or whatever you want to call it. They've gone up in price recently. They're now $98 a piece, which is still a very budget-friendly tire. There are other options out there on the market that are a little bit less than that. Um, you can find tires in this size from the mid-70s, mid-$70 a tire, up to $300 a tire if you want to spend that much. Um, but really, having used sets of these tires in the past and having good luck with them, or actually great luck, great performance out of these tires in the past, I didn't hesitate to spend the $98 a tire that it takes to get these. With them out in the balance fee and the new valve stems and disposal and tire tax and all that other stuff, it did come out to came right out to 500, just over 500 bucks, like $503 for these sets. This set of tires mounted balanced. So I think it's a good value, and I think Goodyear even markets this as an entry level tire or a value type of tire, and I don't exactly agree with that. I think it's an economy tire or an entry level tire that has a lot of premium features to it. The tread design is certainly great. The tread wear that I've got out of them is great. I want to talk about traction because I've used these tires in the past and I've always had fantastic traction with these tires. In the dry, they handle great. You know, you get excellent turns, good response out of them. Where was I going with this? They always wear evenly. I've never had one of these tires wear unevenly or get any cupping or anything like that. They're nice and quiet on the street. They don't hum like a lot of off-road tires do. Sometimes you get blocky tread pattern type off-road tires and you're going down the street and the whole car is going rum, 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 rum. And these don't do that. They're good, quiet tires. I really have never had any complaints about these tires when I've used them in the past. So, of course, I didn't hesitate to find another set. Again, a little harder to find. I think I could find them. I could find them at the Goodyear store before, but when I went looking for them this time, they didn't have them. I had to go to the Walmart. I know there was something else I wanted to say about these tires. Traction. I've always had good traction out of these in the past, but I will say this. The traction of these tires is only as good as their tread depth to a point. When these things get down to the point where they need to be replaced, when you've only got maybe an eighth of tread left, an eighth inch of tread depth left, that's when you start to notice the performance in the rain and the performance in the snow start to drop off. But that's to be expected. That's at the point where the tires are beginning to be worn out. So, of course, the performance is going to decrease in that type of situation. But for the money, I don't think you can go wrong. So, that's my 2 cents on these tires. But that's about it. That's about all I've gotten done here. Hard at work on this body work, trying to get it fixed. Got the tires back on. Got the windshield replaced. Haven't really done much else in the project besides that. That's where we're at. There's a spot right here that I'm sitting in front of. That rocker panel area right there, that's what I like to call Pennsylvania ventilation. That's what Pennsylvania road salt tends to do. And that's really the only area on this vehicle that has that affliction. There's a little bit of rust here and there everywhere, but that's the worst of it. And I did find a new piece here. I cut a rocker off of a vehicle at the junkyard, and it looked nice and solid while I was at the junkyard and while I cut it off, and then I got home. And you can't see down through there, but there was a mouse nest down in there. And mouse pee and sheet steel doesn't really get along very well, so I started knocking on it, and that's what I found. I thought that was just surface rust on here. When I knocked on it, this is what I got rewarded with. So a couple of spots here that need to be patched in with some fresh sheet. So you guys can look forward to that in a later video. I'm going to get around to disassembling this piece, getting all the sheet metal pieces and bits off here that I don't need, and just getting to the piece that I plan to replace. And then we're going to go about cutting that off the old car, patching that in, and then patching in new sheet metal where those rust holes are. So, you know, stay tuned in the future. So you'll see more of that later on. But I thought I'd just let you guys know where we're at. So, that's about it for today, folks. Short and sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Learned a little bit of something. Learned a little bit of tires. That's it. Stay tuned in the future. We'll get more things done here. Got some more projects coming up. I got a Mustang that needs a new top. And who knows what else we'll get up to. So, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, whatever you'd like to do. Alright, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.